Shalom Aleichem. I hope everyone had a wonderful, wonderful week. It is Erev Shavuos, and we're about to celebrate Chag Matan Torah. And at the same time, it is Parshas Naso here in Israel, Parshas Bamidbar in the United States. I want to share a Shavuos thought and a Parshas Naso thought. First, the Naso thought, which is very, very significant, I think, especially as here in Yeshiva, we're kind of at the end of our year. We finished with Shavuos. We had our last day of learning today. And we're really reflecting on what has been accomplished in the year past. So we learn about first the Parsha of Sota, the wife who seems to stray, possibly strays. She has yichud, she's in seclusion with another man. Her husband warned her not to, and she has to drink these waters, the Mei Hamorim, in order to determine whether she actually committed adultery or not. And then the Torah immediately follows that with the story, the halachos of the Nazir. And the Gemara Masechet Sota, Rashi brings as well, asks, why is there a juxtaposition between Sota and Nazir? Why do we jump straight from the story, the sordid tale of the Isha Sota, to the Nazir who takes upon himself the commitment not to take a haircut, not to become Tamil Meis, and not to drink wine? What exactly is the connection to Smichos Parshas? So Rashi brings from the Gemara, says, Lama nismecha Parshas Nazir la Parshas Sota, because the Nazir was Ra'a Sota B'Kilkula. He saw the degradation, what the Sota experienced, and his response to that was Nodar Atzmo Min Hayayin. He took a neder and a zirus not to partake of wine. What exactly is the idea over here? And what is the special, unique nature of the Nazir? When you think about the Nazir, is it so special to be a Nazir? What does he do? Sachakol. What is exactly he doing? He's not Metame Lameis? Okay, good. So many Kohanim are not Metame Lameis. He doesn't drink wine? All right. He didn't drink wine. I don't like to drink wine either. Not the end of the world. He didn't take a haircut. Doesn't shave. So all of us who didn't shave during Sfiras HaOmer, we're in the same exact boat. The Nazirus, Stam Nazirus, it's 30 days. So 30 days without being Metame Lameis, drinking wine and not taking haircuts, is that such a big deal? Why is that such a significant thing that the Torah refers to the Nazir as Kadosh Yihye, and on some level he's akin to a Kohen Gadol in terms of his halachos? So what is so special about the Nazir? So I believe the answer is this very Chazal. Chazal tell us that Ra'a Sota B'Kilkula. He saw what happened to the Sota and he says, what can I do? What else is my option but Nodar Atzmo Min Hayayin? What's the idea? What's the message? So the Sota is a woman who's having trouble in her marriage. Perhaps her husband doesn't treat her well, she doesn't treat her husband well, what have you. She goes to work and she starts to get the attention of another man, perhaps some flirtation, one thing leads to another, and all of a sudden there is some kind of relationship which the husband says has to stop. And she has yichud with this other man, and the story continues. So the Nazir sees this, sees what happened. She says she was a regular woman, married in a regular marriage. You know what? That could just as well have happened to me. I could also slip in that fashion. I also could go about my life in a regular way, and things happen. So the Nazir sees what happened to the Sota, sees that story, and says, I need to take action. I need to do something about it. I have to build myself, strengthen myself. The Nazir is a model of what I will call spiritual activism. He sees the world around him. He observes phenomena. He experiences the downfall of someone else and says, that could have just as well been me. I need to make a change. In Yeshiva, we use the term, I need to make moves. The Nazir is a person who says, I'm making moves. So it's true, it's not dramatic, 30 days. Not dramatic, but things that happen around him have an impact. And he says, I have to make moves, I have to change because of my experiences. Most people in life, they see something dramatic, they see a tragedy, a sunset, a downfall of a person, and their typical response is, tisk, tisk. And then they move about their lives. They go on with their agendas. That's not the Nazir. The Nazir says, I respond to these phenomena, I want to change, I want to make moves, and I'm going to do things to bring that about. That's why the Nazir is a Kadosh. That is the uniqueness of the Nazir. That is his spiritual activism. That's idea number one. We're celebrating Shavuos, Mitzvah Hashem, Motzei Shabbos, Sunday, Monday we have Chag Matan Torah Seinu. So Rav Asher Weiss spoke this week. He told a story that when he was much younger, he went to visit his Rebbe, the Kleisenberger Rebbe in Union City. The Kleisenberger was quite old at the time, was not so well, and he walks in to visit him, and the Kleisenberger asked him a question. We have two psukim that seem to go in a different direction. One pasuk we read about the praises of Eretz Yisrael, and the Torah tells us that Eretz Yisrael is known as an Eretz Zavat Chalav Udevash. And then there's a pasuk in Shir Hashirim speaking about Torah, and it says that Torah should be Devash v'Chalav Tachas L'Shanech. It should be like Devash, date honey, and Chalav, milk, under your tongue. So the Kleisenberger asked Rav Asher, why is it when it comes to Eretz Yisrael, we speak about Eretz Yisrael being Eretz Zavat Chalav Udvash? Chalav comes first when it comes to Torah. So there the pasuk says Dvash uChalav Tachas L'Shanech. So Rav Asher thought about it, said, I want to hear from you, Rebbe, and Rebbe says, no, I want to hear from you, and Rav Asher suggested the following shot, which the Kleisenberger liked very much. He said as follows: when it comes to praising Eretz Yisrael, the land that we live in, so there's Chalav, there's Dvash, it has both, but which one is essential to life? The one that's essential to life, human beings need Chalav. The baby, in order to grow up and grow healthy, for its first 6-7 months, that's what it drinks. It drinks milk. Milk is necessity. It's not a luxury. It's necessity. It's absolutely necessary. And therefore, Eretz Yisrael is lacking nothing. It has everything you need. And the emphasis on that which we need, not the luxuries, that which is Chalav. And Dvash is also there, but it's secondary. When it comes to Torah learning, so for Torah learning to really hit its mark, for us to really achieve in Torah learning, it's necessary. But for us to really go places and to really buy in, to really have a Kabbalah SaTorah, so it has to be Dvash uChalav Tachas L'Shanech. It has to be sweet. It has to be enjoyable. As we daven every single day, as we daven to Hashem, after the bracha of Lasok B'divrei Torah V'harevna, is that it has to be pleasant, it has to be pleasurable, it has to be joyful. We have to partake of the Sha'ashua Shel Torah, the plaything that is Torah. We have to have a geschmack in our learning. As we sing all the time, it's geschmack to be a Yid. In order to go ahead and transmit Torah to the next generation, to have them appreciate its beauty and its profundity, we the adults have to have the Mesikus HaTorah, the sweetness of Torah, and in that sense, we emphasize that piece of the puzzle. We emphasize that Torah is Devash v'Chalav. It's 100% necessary. It is Chalav, but to really get the most out of it, we have to identify its sweetness, taste its sweetness, partake of its sweetness, and then we'll be successful in transmitting it to Tzetza'enu v'Tzetza'ei Amcha Beis Yisrael, to our children, to our grandchildren. Then the Torah will be Nitzchi. And therefore we work so hard in this night, Leil HaShavuos, to really tap into the Mesikus HaTorah, the sweetness of Torah. It should be a yontif of sweetness, a yontif of Ma'achale Chalav. We have sweet foods, and the Tumin Hagin, to learn all night, and then to partake of the cheesecake, the Dvash in the morning. So we accomplish both in that sense, and then we'll be Zocher to a sweet Chag, a Chag of the Harevna, where we'll be successfully passing on this beautiful Masorah to our children.